Like you did mine. Go ahead and break.
Oh, heart bleeds. Kia ora and welcome. My name's ZoeStibi and I'm your vocal coach for today. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at Kelly Clarkson with Mine stripped live at the Belasco Theatre. I'm super excited. Love Kelly Clarkson. I've never heard this song before though, so I'm excited to see what she's up to with her vocal technique.
Every motive, everything you say. Thought with you maybe my heart wasn't meant to break. Can't believe I let you in. I can't believe I stayed. As long as I stayed, yeah. I hope one day someone will take your heart and hold it tight.
Gosh, is she not just the most amazing singer in the entire world? So we've got this little bit of the slack vocal fold onset, very, very low volume, and you need that for this. Just means that we've got thicker vocal fold quality, but we've just got a little bit of an opening going on to allow that air to come through. Let's just go back on that.
You know I question every motive, everything you say. Thought with you maybe my heart wasn't meant to break. Can't believe I let you in. I can't believe I stayed. As long as I stayed, yeah. I hope one day someone will take your heart and hold it tight. Make you feel like you're invincible deep inside. And right when you think that it's perfect, they cross a line and steal your shine. Like you did mine. Go ahead and break my heart.
So much going on right there. You did mine. Okay, we just got to go back on that because I was just too busy listening to the lyrics. I'm sorry.
Invincible deep inside. And right when you think that it's perfect, they cross a line and steal your shine. Like you did mine.
Could you see that? There was a little, like you did mine. Little bit of an impulse there in the, just sort of where the dress kind of goes into where it's like flat on the stomach there. Let's just watch that again.
And steal your shine. Like you did mine.
Like you did mine. She's taking quite... Now, low is relative, but what she's doing is she's taking those lower breaths, like you did mine here, so that when we breathe, the ribs go out anyway. But what ends up happening is when we're breathing down low and we're feeling, when you did mine, we're able to engage those back muscles to really help us to support the sound. Not all the time, though, I have to say. There's not like one way to breathe for singing. There's lots of different ways. Let's just watch that again.
Inside, and right when you think that it's perfect, they cross a line and steal your shine. Like you did mine.
There we go. We also had till they cross the line. We really want to make sure that the volume is so low, because in order to get that kind of like that, again, not making fun of Kelly Clarkson in any way, shape or form, but if you watch my videos regularly, you do know that I never mean anyone. I'm not poo-pooing what she's doing. She's an amazing vocalist. She's incredible. But I'm saying this is the way that you can create these sounds. So she's got that's that way to bring in that sort of pain, like you did mine, across the line. I see this happening time and time again in the studio. Singers like over singing the beginnings of songs. Start quietly, people.
And break my heart, that's mine. So unkind. Eternal sunshine of a spotless mind. Oh, love is blind. Why am I missing you tonight? Was it all a lie? Someone's gonna show you how a heart can be used. Like you did mine.
You can just feel the pain in this song. Let's just watch that again. So when we've gone into this higher section, we do have the thicker vocal folds going further up, but there's a lot of thinning going on in order to create mine. So what's happening there is we've got the thyroid tilt going on. The thyroid is where the vocal folds live. And with that thyroid tilt, we're able to get further up in the range. Just to watch that again. Now this is like, look, Kelly Clarkson's the ultimate professional. This is in a really comfortable part of her range. Otherwise, she wouldn't have written a song like this, yeah?
So unkind. Eternal sunshine of a spotless mind. Oh, love is blind. Why show you how hard can be used.
So when we go, was it all a lie? Let's just watch that again.
Was it all a lie?
Do you hear that little guy? Was it all a lie? We had that little glottal going on there. Now, the glottal onset is a really great way for us to access the chest voice sound. Okay, that is very, very high chest voice, but I really do believe that anyone can get there. So if you're struggling with singing in that thicker vocal fold, that more powerful part of your range, then check out my free singing lesson available in the description below. Honestly, 3 days, I'll get those vocal folds working for you. So you can see there, though, she lifted back and upwards a little bit. We do need an increase in the stability there when we're going to be, you know, hitting higher notes.
Was it all a lie? Someone's gonna show you how hard can be used, like you did mine.
Oh, heart bleeds. So she didn't, you know what? Kelly Clarkson could probably sing this song with a head cold doing a handstand, okay? So she's doing that as well because it's part of the emotion of the way, because it's all a lie, you know, letting that out. That's kind of the little movements that we do. So you don't have to do those. What we would be looking for is to reaching up tall. You can see she's got a really lovely posture there. But for someone who wasn't used to singing this loud and high, we'd be really wanting you to stand out really, really tall, because posture plays a huge role in the way that all the muscles and all of the bones and everything align when we're doing our singing. It just makes singing easier, especially at the beginning of your journey.
Like you did mine. And now I second guess my thoughts every step I take. I'm losing hope and love, and I've lost all in faith. You're for a dreamer, I just close my eyes and it's all blank. I have you to thank, yeah. I hope one day someone will take your heart and hold it tight, make you feel like you're invincible deep inside.
So we heard there as well, second verse. She goes, well, you know the melody. I just get a bit carried away. So we've got, again, thicker vocal folds, chest voice sound. You can hear these quite audible breaths. Now, whatever, that's part, in my opinion, that's also part of the artistry to go, do you actually want the breath to be heard or do you not want the breath to be heard? But we want to practice that you don't have to hear it, but you want to be able to add it in there if you want to. I hope that makes sense. That's just something that needs to be looked at on an individual basis, because if you're someone who, for example, has done a lot of dancing in their time, maybe you've got quite a strong core and it's really hard for you to release those muscles in order to allow the breath to you know, come into the lungs. But for example, I also have students, I don't know about you, but my mum always used to poke my stomach and say, you know, suck your belly in, because that's the way that she thought we needed to do in order to have strong stomach muscles. Now we know that that's a bit different, but you know, if that's you, that also might be something that you're struggling with too, in order to release those abdominal muscles, in order to allow the diaphragm to descend to, you know, basically the reason why your stomach goes out is because your guts get pushed out there, okay? So you'll see this as well with Kelly. She's breathing quite low and you're seeing that rib expansion and that stomach expansion. Let's watch that again. Great video to watch this.
I hope one day someone will take your heart and hold it tight, make you feel like you're invincible deep inside. Right when you think that you'll try again, they cross the line and steal your shine, like you did mine. Go ahead and break my heart, that's fine. So unkind, no sunshine of a spotless mind. All love is blind. Why am I missing you tonight? Was it all a lie? Someone's gonna show you.
So interesting though, that like the way in which there's so many colors within the chest voice sound. And I mean, Kelly Clarkson is kind of belting in this last section. Was it all unkind? You know, everyone has a different type of belt. And I know some teachers be like, no, Zoe, it's only one. Honestly, what is belt really? It is a We have the thyroid cartilage here, and underneath we have the cricoid. And when the cricoid tips back, the vocal folds get thicker than thick, and that's really what belt is all about. And we'd need to, it's a loud, high sound, in my opinion. Let's just go back on that, because you could see there's a definite increase in the volume there. She's got an increase in the body energy that she's using, but she's not necessarily it doesn't look like she's doing a lot. You see that it's quite cool, calm, and collected, yeah? Kelly Clarkson's fantastic singer. She's been doing this for a really long time. So unkind. She's up there on the C#5. Now, for a lot of singers, you might hear that and go, oh my God, that's so high. When listening to Kelly Clarkson and going, that actually doesn't sound as high as you think it feels. And that's due to a lot of different things, but it's really due to the size of the larynx and also kind of the timbre going on. So it's like the tongue position, the larynx height, lots of different things going on. And that creates the darker sound that she's singing with, that makes us hear the sound and go, oh yeah, it's quite dark, quite a low note, but it's really not. So I don't want you to try and produce a lower sounding note. I want you to try and produce a note that feels good in your own voice. And this is why it's so important to choose keys of songs and change them around to really suit you individually, because they need to sound good, right? Don't try and, I don't like it when singers are constantly just trying to go for the original key, when the singers themselves change the keys in performances all the time.
Love is blind. Why am I missing you tonight? Was it all a lie? Someone's gonna show you how hard can be used. And you keep talking.
So stop. Well, let me just stop there before I go. So we're going, can be used. Do the use and flip from that chest voice into that higher falsetto. That's so good with that ooh, that facilitates that flip. So on the flip side, if you don't like that flip in your voice, open your mouth. Can be used. Because used, that's really easy to do that flip when you've got that smaller aperture there on that vowel.
And you keep talking, it'll come back. Karma is the truth. I don't make you look bad, you do. Darling, sabotage your choice of art. Who the hell do you think you are? Go ahead and break my heart, that's fine.
Oh, absolutely stunning. Look, this song's just so, you just feel she's feeling every moment. Let's go back on that, because you notice that's also the only moment that the backing singers get really like, how do you think you are? Let's go back on that.
Truth, I don't make you look bad, you do. Darling, sabotage.
But you can hear, is it true? I'm the one. She's in a very comfortable part of her range. And when we're in that comfortable part of our range, it allows our chest voice to become quite resonant. And even in Kelly's case, I feel really rude calling her that, Miss Clarkson, Kelly Clarkson's place, in her voice, it just sounds that little bit rounder. Could call it more resonant, more voluminous, whatever descriptor you want to use. We need to have that kind of flexibility in that chest voice register.
Your choice of art.
That's relatively high in the chest voice register. So I don't want you to be listening to a song going like, oh yeah, I'm such a terrible singer because I can't sing high like Kelly Clarkson. She didn't start this high. And also it's a lot to do with, where does she come from, what her background is, your natural accent. She's not using a hell of a lot of twang in there now, but there is a little bit of narrowing going on. Your choice of art, that needs to come in order to take that chest voice higher. Otherwise it would be like, your choice of, it'd be like way too wide and woofy.
Your choice of art.
And we've also, your choice of art. Look, she doesn't necessarily need to do that, but when we take our arms wide, we're engaging more in those larger back muscles to stabilize the larynx.
Who the hell do you think you are?
That's a really lovely decrescendo. Ah! And just taking the microphone away, really lovely, clean crescendo. Why not? The first time that they're able to belt in that moment, like, wow. Can I just give a massive round of applause to these two fabulous backup singers? I'm sorry, I don't know their names. I know that they both sing with her regularly, so that's really terrible of me. But did you notice through the whole song as well, there's not a lot of things that you can hear their voices out of the mix. So they've taken a lot of the vibrato out, a lot of the coloring. Their vowels are quite standardized, and that's really what we're looking for when you're singing backup for someone, that we're not going to bring heaps of our own color and style into it. You're singing it relatively plain, but it's a little bit about getting your own flavor in there, but it is relatively about taking a lot of that out so that you can allow the main singer to shine.
My heart, that's fine. Eternal sunshine of the spotless mind. Why am I missing you tonight?
Oh, that's such a love. Why am I missing you tonight? What did she just sing?
Missing you tonight.
There you go. She goes, why am I missing you tonight? Everything else, she's gone down. And in that moment, she's asking a question. She's gone up. And it's also the different feel, right? The whole time she's been saying, this is you. But why am I missing you? And then she's gone up at the end of the phrase. Just that slight little change in the melody speaks volumes about the song. She's also come right back down on the volume, back down as well in the way that she's, she isn't like slumped down, but there's less energy there because we don't need it the whole time behind the voice.
Why am I missing you tonight? Someone's gonna show you how a heart can be used like you did mine.
Wow. So you've got that happy used. So she's got smaller mouth shape there that helps us to access that falsetto voice quality at the end. And you notice she pulled the microphone away because actually as we're going higher in the range in falsetto, it actually sounds louder than if we were to stay in thinner vocal folds. It's one of the crazy things about falsetto. And that's one of the tricks really, is to keep the volume really, really low, because otherwise you're going to go and push the note a little bit too sharp. So just watching when you're doing this type of singing that you're just holding back the breath a little bit more there. But Kelly's the most fabulous singer, and the most, I love the way that she's emoting there. Personally, if this was someone in my own studio, I'd like them to open their eyes a little bit when they're performing. I really like to say that the eyes are the window to the soul. And often when we've got our eyes closed, we're sort of having this very insular moment within ourselves. But if we open our eyes and allow the audience to come into and see our soul and see that pain, they're actually going to come on that journey with us a little bit more. So, play around with it. Obviously, she's a big girl. She can make decisions for herself. She's also, who the fuck am I to talk about what Kelly Clarkson should do? I just want to say that, play around with these things, because it can be very, very powerful to open your eyes in a performance like that and actually sing that and have someone see your pain. But I'm well aware that, with everything that was going on, especially 2 years ago, and I don't want to get into the whole thing about what happened with her husband and things, obviously very awful. Maybe that was too much for her then to open her eyes, that, when you're writing the song yourself, it also can become very, very emotional to share that with people. Maybe she also wasn't ready. So we'll give her the benefit of the doubt. Wow. Absolutely stunning. I'd never heard that song before, and I'm like, wow, I've really missed out the last 2 years not hearing that song. Absolutely beautiful. Wow. I'm definitely going to add it to the list of shit that I need to sing and need to learn. But if you've enjoyed this video, I'd love it if you do me a huge favor and hit that subscribe button. It helps me out hugely to help more people like yourself here on YouTube. I love it. I really love it with all my heart, with all my passion. I love hanging out here with you to teach you more about vocals, to show you what the pros are actually doing with their sounds, and to show you how you can create the same thing. But a lot of what she's doing is very, very, very advanced technical voice use. So if you're looking to improve your vocal technique, and you might not be at Kelly Clarkson's level, but we can get you there certainly, check out the link in the description below, because my online singing school, the Vocal Academy, is accepting new students. We would love to see you there. We have very limited spaces available, but we'd love to have a chat with you about how we can help you to reach your voice goals. Check out some more Kelly Clarkson up here. And just remember, this stuff is a muscular activity. Anybody can learn to sing. You just have to have the tools, and that's what we're here for. So happy singing. Ka kite anō.